So I was asked to talk to you all about electoral politics and change, because there's a lot going on in the country right now that doesn't really have to do with the Black Lives Matter movement. We see in Washington, D.C., they painted the streets with Black Lives Matter, but the mayor of Washington, D.C. says she will not even consider cutting the police budget. Now, and we also got rid of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, but we still have Democratic politicians telling us you need to register to vote, but we're not going to do anything with the actual vote. We're going to tear down monuments, we're going to do all the cosmetic change, but the real substantive policy change that people are talking about, they are not going to address. They are trying to get this movement to settle down because they don't want to deal with the pressure. So they're going to tell you it's time to register to vote, it's time to support the Democrats, it's time to be good civil citizens. The problem with that is we live in a broken democracy where both parties do not respond to the needs of the people. They are trying to manipulate you all into thinking they are doing something when they are not. Nobody asked for them to, let me back up. It's very nice they're tearing down Confederate monuments. It's a nice thing. But we're not seeing black people getting murdered in the streets 2 to 3 times more likely to get killed in an encounter with the police than a white person. That has nothing to do with Confederate monuments or branding on different products. We have corporations saying Black Lives Matter, yet their black employees don't have health care and they live in poverty wages. So do Black Lives really matter when you don't even pay your black workers a living wage? So it's not to say that voting isn't important. It is important because I'm just going to say I don't care who you vote for. The guy who's in the White House right now is a fascist. So if you want to continue to have a racist fascist in the White House, that's on you. You can do the bare minimum and vote him out. But just know that once he's gone, that doesn't mean the work is done. These protests have to continue well past November. The civil rights movement didn't happen overnight. Those protests weren't just a couple of months. It wasn't even a couple of years. It was decades of struggle just for even the basic rights that we got. We didn't even get all that we wanted or needed. There was decades of struggle just for some basic humanity. So we're still fighting. That struggle has never ended. They've just been trying to keep it quiet. People are coming together like I don't think I've ever seen before. Like the Black Lives Matter movement, the protests for racial justice, we actually have broad bipartisan support. Democrats, Republicans, and independents support what we are doing. So our goal is to make sure that the people empowered actually listen and act. So what I'm here to tell you is don't get distracted by all BS. Every year, let's look at all the cities where these violent cases happen. Detroit, Baltimore, Ferguson. Who are in charge of these cities? They are Democratic politicians. They are liberals who say they are on your side. But every time they have to pass a budget, they cut education, they cut social services, but they don't touch the police. Police have seen their budgets increase every single year while crime is going down. We've been cutting education services, housing, and access to mental health. And the solution that they think is more police. We've actually done studies. We know that the root cause of crime, if you start helping people, you start giving them opportunities, lifting them out of poverty, giving them mental health services. That can help crime. But the United States thinks more police, more guns. That's how we handle our military. Just keep building up the military while people are dying. People don't have health care. We are a backward society. The rest of the world takes care of its people. America does not take care of its people. We like to rebrand things and think that we're actually making change. Did slavery really end when we have more people in prisons right now than we had at the peak of slavery? I don't think so. What they did is they rebranded slavery so that, if some white and Latino people also want to join the system, come on in. That's what liberals do. They rebrand it. So now this is the rebranded slavery. our prison system. The United States has the highest prison population in the world. So is this really the land of the free? So what I want you to do, I do want you all to vote, but I do not want you to think that's the final solution or that's the answer. You have to keep fighting, you have to keep protesting. They're actually trying to say that we've won. We don't have to keep protesting. They haven't done shit. They just want you to go home and shut up. So don't listen to that BS. They're trying to be branded defund the police. They say, we don't like that. We support the ideas, but we think you should use different terms. Don't let neoliberal politicians dictate how you protest. Power to the people, we are in charge of the message. We say defund the police. We've been defunding education, we've been defunding housing. We don't need as many police that we have on the street. If we actually had mental health services for people, if we had better education, we had opportunities, if we had a living wage, we wouldn't have as much crime, we wouldn't need as much police. So we need to actually rethink fundamentally what we do as a society. Other countries in the world, they don't have the level of police brutality that we do. They don't have the number of people that are in prisons because they actually try to take care of their people. We don't do that. We are a very selfish and individualistic society. That's what defines America. I got mine, screw you. So we have to change that. We can't let this movement die. There's been plenty of times in history where people come together, and when they come together, the powerful try to crush us. That happened with Occupy Wall Street. That happened with the rallies in Ferguson. We can't let this movement die. And we can't just think that just because we change faces in leadership, that change is going to happen. Now, I'd like to remind people that when Trayvon Martin died, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, the riots in Ferguson, we had a black president, we had a black attorney general, and we had a black Secretary of Homeland Security. So we had black so-called liberal leadership, yet black people were still getting killed, not being addressed, not having their voices heard. We have not changed fundamental policies in the United States for a very long time. So I just want people to be aware and not give in to the bullshit. Politicians of both parties treat the police and their budget like it's some sort of sacred cow, or maybe a sacred pig, whichever analogy you'd rather use. That money needs to go back to the community, back to the people. There's no excuse why they can't do that. When they get a budget crunch, they always find more money for the police, they always take money from the poor. We have to stand up and stop that. We say power to the people, we fight past November, we make them scared, we keep the pressure up. Thank you.